$500,000 on skins?
I don't care. I'm playing Pokemon Go.
Ooh. Is that cringy? Should I really put that online?
I guess that's why his channel died.
At least he's being genuine. Unlike you, Ali.
I do swear in real life, I didn't care.
Do you still enjoy Fortnite?
I thought you watched my videos.
Jelly.
It's a Diplodocus.
I think we can start by you talking about the fact that we've got the tallest person ever on the podcast.
Dude, you're tall. It's intimidating, man.
And
I'm
Jelly-
happy we're seated.
You've got a big
that
thing with
not
height.
Yeah, you know, I'm a short guy, and a lot of people, I've said it 100 times. Do you need to hear it again? Like,
But the good thing is on YouTube, you only ever see this portion. So
Yeah.
no one knows how tall or short you are.
Until you get exposed on a podcast.
I mean, I feel like I'm not the shortest guy in the world, but you're extremely tall.
I'm quite tall. I think a lot of our friends are my friends are quite tall as well. And
Do tall people look for tall people?
maybe, yeah. Well, like, you're tall. Be my friend.
Does that mean when you see like Jelly walk up to you, you're like, ooh?
I don't notice him. Like he's just below my line of sight.
That's
It's
even
like,
worse. Oh, that makes
searching
sense
you.
then. You
Yeah.
only have tall friends
yeah,
because
yeah.
you
We
can't
can see
simply.
each other.
All right, Jelly. So who have we got? You're gonna intro our guest
Man,
today.
I can't believe we've got this guy with us today. Ali A. Woo!
Yay!
All right, I actually hadn't looked at your sub count, but I know it's a lot. I know
Yeah,
it's a lot.
How many subs are you on at the moment?
Main channel is 18.5 million,
And then
the
second
channel hit 13 million yesterday. So,
Wow.
That's really impressive for a
So-
second channel.
yeah.
With the three of us together, we're doing like 60 million subs across
that's a
all
lot.
channels.
That's
Yeah.
a lot.
It's not
And
too bad.
I also saw you're about to go over the 10 billion view mark.
Yeah, I'm like, that's in the back of my head. Like,
You're on 9.9
Yeah.
billion total views.
I always have these little goals to like just keep me motivated. As soon as you hit them, you don't feel that excited or nothing really happens, but it's just good to keep you motivated for that next
yeah.
number.
You've already had
So-
this plaques, you know, like
Yeah.
they're
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
So it's kind of beyond there.
The
Yeah.
diamond plaque, man, too easy.
Got two
easy.
of those now. The next goal is the 10 billion one, and I want to try and get both channels to 20 million. Like, I think it's feasible.
Sure.
So that's like the thing I'm aiming for at the moment. It'll
Just gonna
probably
have to
take
do
a year or two.
Just
but-
gonna have to do a whole lot more clickbait.
I actually technically have. I have.
There's enough of that, Jelly.
We'll get to that. We'll get
No,
to the
no, no. I'm
clickbait.
just kidding. I mean, I'm not any better.
No, that's good. Funny enough, though, is I actually have 3 diamond play buttons. Yeah.
Yeah, but-
Turns out you could just buy them.
Okay.
You just need to get one, and then you just buy as many as you want. Anyway, so Jenny, one thing you forgot to mention is we've got a shill Spotify. Do your thing.
Right. Listen, before we get deep into the conversation, it's important that you are either listening on Apple Music, Spotify, watch it all on YouTube, subscribe, follow, do all the good stuff. All right. I am terrible at this, and I will continue to be terrible at
it.
this.
Yep.
However, it is still important I say it because we just simply can't say it enough.
You need to throw up the stats saying how many people are and aren't subscribed.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then tell
No,
them you
but-
want it to
but
go
for
hard.
99% of you watching are
following, though, on
not
Spotify.
following on Spotify. That's probably accurate.
Okay, there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead and follow us.
Yeah. So, Ali,
Yes.
we've actually known each other all for quite a while.
Right.
And we can kind of get into how we know each other. But I think what would be really good is if you tell us a bit more about like the start, like the history, like what was the early days?
Ali.
But
Okay.
wait, and even Ali before Ali A, right?
Yeah. So I've been doing YouTube videos now on YouTube for like 12 or 13 years. But before that, I was just a kid that quite liked games, hang out with his friends, like a very normal person. And actually, my parents kind of like tried to dissuade me from playing any games. They were like, no, you don't want to spend too much time inside, sat in front of a screen. And I think it kind of spurred me on a little bit more to want to play games more because it was like this thing you
yeah.
can't do. So I remember getting my friend that was a little bit older than me to get Call of Duty because I was a little bit too young, and then started playing that and got a PlayStation.
Bad boy from the start.
So yeah, playing games that like were huge at the time, but I was a little bit too young to play. And I think the thing that really captured my interest in actually filming gaming videos was just the ability to share these gaming moments online, because I actually had a lot of friends that we meet up, play a bit of tennis on Saturday, go back to one of our houses and actually play games together. And those moments were so fun. If you're playing Smash Bros, whatever it was, and someone did something really cool, you guys remembered it and you could talk about it for, forever.
Yeah.
But it was limited to that group of people in that time, in that space. So at the time, there was no equipment that was actually built or designed or marketed to record gaming consoles. So I bought a thing called, I'm sure you guys remember, the Dazzle.
Yeah.
Dazzle. And that was actually marketed as a way of capturing, I think, your VCR player.
Yeah.
Or VHS player. And then you'd get all these cables and put them in whatever. And then you'd do that, but for your gaming console. And I bought this bit of equipment, started recording gaming highlights. And it's just been this I do have a lot of subscribers now, but I feel like my evolution from starting to upload videos to now has been a really nice progressive one.
Okay.
Rather than, there's a lot of channels now that blow up and get millions, tens of millions in like a few years. It's that very sharp exponential growth.
Yeah.
Right.
So I feel quite fortunate that I've sort of been in this space for a long time, still here, still really
But
enjoying it.
your name wasn't actually Ali though at the beginning days.
No, my name's Alastair, and that's what everyone knows me as.
Wait, your real name is Alastair.
Yes.
Did you not know that?
Yeah. That's a name.
You're not Ali?
No.
Well, he is. You are kind of.
So what's
Ali.
with the second A?
So my actual name is Alastair, spelled A-L-A. My mum actually didn't want anyone to call me Ali. She just was like, I'd want you to be Alastair.
Alastair.
Yes, exactly. And then my second name begins with A. And at the time, I think it all started in primary school. You know Ali G?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think it was, my friends was
Sasha
like,
Boran.
you're Ali A.
Yeah. Sasha
And
Boran.
yeah. And
Wait,
they
really?
just started calling me that. Yeah, I think that's where it started.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So hypothetically speaking, you need to give up some of your rights.
Your naming rights. That's so weird.
I think that's how it started. And then I had groups
Wow.
of friends that would call me Ali, groups of friends that would call me Alastair, and then everyone online knows me as Ali, really. So
Ali A.
Ali A.
And
Wow.
but what was the history of? Wasn't there something else like Matrox?
Matroix. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
was
what
that?
your YouTube channel is called, Matrix, right?
Yeah. Well, my channel was created in 2006. Like, I think that's only a year after the site had gone live. It was very, very early on, basically. And my friend had been bugging me. He was like, YouTube's going to be huge. Like, all of these celebrities are signing up to it. And I'm like, I don't care. And then eventually I made an account. And the name, this is such a weird story. I bought a Nintendo DS. And the bottom screen was a touch screen.
Yeah.
When you when you first turn on your DS, it tells you to enter a name.
Yeah.
And I tried to type in Metroid, and I just couldn't type very well on the screen. And I typed out Matroix. I'm like, this is sick.
It actually sounds like a really cool name.
Have you ever like said this anywhere publicly?
Maybe once or twice.
Okay.
But then I just kept that online alias for a few different things very early on. So my YouTube channel was Matroix. So if you go on YouTube and type in youtube.com/Matroix, my page loads up.
Yeah.
Did that friend that got you into YouTube though?
Yeah.
Do you still friends with him?
Not really. I was thinking about this the other day. Like, he was kind of within a friendship group that I had. I have like quite a few different friendship groups from different spaces, and he kind of was on the outer edge of one of the friendship groups. And he's married now with kids. I don't even think he lives in England anymore, but we used to, when we spoke maybe every now and then years ago, joke about the fact that this guy basically
Got you
started
into it,
my
yeah.
YouTube channel.
Crazy.
He did. So yeah, that's how it all started.
So funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then from there, it was just making videos. Was there like a specific turning point where you were like, oh wow, this is like I'm making money now. Like I can make this my job. Because it was also, I feel like I remember you. This is coming just from my brain.
Yeah.
But you kind of stuck with your parents for like quite a long time. Like, if I go back to when I first started, and I remember you were doing it. You were like in your bedroom.
Yeah. I think
Still,
it
while you were
was.
still quite big.
I mean, are you
Yeah.
still in that bedroom?
No, I don't even know what's in. I don't even think there's a bed in that bedroom anymore. I don't know.
But you know what I mean, right? You kind of
Yeah.
you stuck with your roots
Yeah.
like for quite a while.
I think when you're a YouTuber and things are going well and you're young, when you're in that grind, all you think about every day is what video am I going to make and how am I going to make it. So I didn't really care where I was. And
Change is also scary.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. And
Like-
I really need something big to push me to make a change happen.
Right.
So, being in my bedroom in my parents' house worked out really well. So I stayed there for a while.
worked.
But yeah, like in the early days, I was a massive nerd, I guess. Like I would just sit on like gaming forums quite a lot and like type loads on there and spend a lot of time on forums.
Right.
And I don't really think, I guess Reddit's kind of a forum, but forums aren't really a big thing anymore.
No, not nearly as big as they used to be. They're still around. But
Yeah.
not,
I think like Discord, stuff like that. It's like
It's
like
kind of a new
trend,
spaces,
right?
isn't it,
Yeah.
for communities. So I'd spend a lot of time on there, and I got heavily involved, and I can't even remember how this happened. I got heavily involved in competitive Nintendo Wii like gaming. So
I did not know this was a thing.
Wait, what? I thought it was Call of Duty, dude. I'm so off.
So you got to think, like, back in the day, you know how well the Wii sold? Like,
Yeah.
yes, like there weren't loads of Wii videos online because there wasn't the space to put them, but loads of people were playing on the Wii. So these communities existed, but in forums. So I remember the very first game that was online for the Wii in Europe was Mario Strikers Charged Football. And I got this game and got heavily invested in the community. And it was a game where there was a lot of bugs and glitches in the game. So rather than just shooting, you could do these crazy trick shots where you bounce the ball off the wall, chip it over the goalkeeper would just bug out, and then you could run around him and like score. So it was really technical, even though Nintendo didn't design it that way at all. So I would basically like set up all these clan battles and I think that inspired, like, because a few of them were recording their content.
Yeah.
And I think these guys were on the cutting edge of like anyone doing it. And I was like, oh, how are you doing it? And then that's how I heard about the Dazzle. And we started sharing like our highlights with each other. I used my YouTube channel as a place to put that. And if you go on my channel, my first ever video is actually my laptop, the webcam on the laptop, you know, the front facing one, sat in front of my tiny CRT monitor. I had to like stand up to play whilst it was recording. Otherwise, I couldn't see the screen. Recording footage of me playing Mario.
Dude, it's so funny.
Like it's like I've been around in this space really like since the beginning.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, it's funny how I feel like most big gaming YouTuber stories are similar.
Yeah.
I think I don't know how your story went, but
I
like
think Ali's is fairly unique.
It's
though.
fairly. I mean, every
It
story
goes
is unique,
back,
but
but Ali's goes back to like the core of gaming.
Yeah.
But the overall theme's pretty similar
Yeah.
of like being into gaming, doing some weird
sharing
stuff.
online, showing
but
your
yeah,
friends.
you like competitive Wii sports.
yeah, the Wii thing kind of surprised me.
like
So
that.
when did you make this switch to Call of Duty? Because I used to
Yeah.
watch that stuff.
Yeah.
I was one of the first members, man. I was the OG.
So, yeah, I was playing like loads of Wii games, and then I'd go into school, and that wasn't really cool. Like, yeah, a lot of people had Wiis, but like, it wasn't the coolest thing. Like, gaming wasn't like everyone games now. If it's on their phone or like,
it definitely like gaming and especially gaming on YouTube was not cool for a really long time.
Yeah.
Were you being bullied?
no, I don't. There's a few articles online that said I got like really badly bullied and stuff. I never got bullied.
Where do
Like,
you think that came from?
I think someone just made it up.
Oh,
Yeah.
making things up online.
Yeah. Like, I definitely got my fair share of people and friends just like taking the piss and being like,
Right.
you know, this is such a weird thing you're doing. Like, I remember when I would record my videos, it was first of all just gameplay, then the introduction of like me talking, and then it took ages to show my face. But when I was recording videos, like I'd go into my bedroom, close the door, and try and like hope my parents were out the house, and then just like whisper into the microphone, like, guys, I'm playing Mario today. Because like my parents were like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you
They
talking
just had no
about?
concept of what
No,
it was.
it made
Oh
no
my
sense.
God.
But I think throughout what I've done, if I've ever had this like niggling feeling in my head that what I'm doing, I think like could be something, or like I really enjoy it and I don't care what anyone says about it, I'm just going to keep doing it. And like creating YouTube content and playing games, doesn't matter how much my friends took the piss out of me, you wouldn't stop me doing it. Like I knew I was onto something. I didn't care
Right.
how like much I'd get picked on for it.
Are there still friends today?
Two of my friends that I went to school with, I'm still really close with, and they were both actually had 3-4 best men at my wedding, and those two guys were two of those. And so yeah, like again, I've got like a mixture of friendship bubbles that spread out over different spaces and different people. But
And none of them have tried to become a YouTuber
yeah, that's
either.
a really good point. Yes. So shout out another Josh. Do you know Elam?
Yeah. So I met him recently
Yeah.
at a Sidemen
event?
after party.
Yeah. So he is now quite into this space. And yeah, he was one of
Elon
my
Musk.
best men as well. No, not
what?
Elam.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. It's
sorry.
Jenny.
I was like,
Elon.
whoa, he's a gaming
Yeah,
YouTuber,
that's my
dude. Let's go.
So some people have followed me in the space, but
Yeah.
not many people. I think, yeah, they all just didn't really see what I saw. I don't
Interesting.
Think.
So that's a pretty good summary of the past, right? Coming forwards to now, though, you've been through a lot as a creator. Like you've had a lot of controversies.
Yeah.
You've had some. You've been made into a meme.
Yeah.
Multiple
God.
times.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later on and that sort of stuff. But one of the earlier issues that you had was like actually transitioning just from playing Call of Duty to Fortnite. Like,
yeah.
and I didn't realize that was actually as big of a deal as it was
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
I was sort of looking up some
Yeah.
stuff.
We researched.
Nice.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
like 5 minutes ago. But
Quickly, what
What about Ali? Can I?
but that was like what was that like? Because you just played Call of Duty for the longest time ever. A new game comes out, but then you're rinsed for it.
Yeah, so I mean, I think the good thing is that transition wasn't the first time I had jumped between games to make content.
Okay.
So, and I think out of everything that happened during my Fortnite success, from memes, from people hating the fact that I played that game and left Call of Duty to whatever else happened, I'd had so many versions of those experiences before that I could deal with it quite well. So as I
okay.
said, like I played Nintendo games and then jumped to Call of Duty, and then I made a second channel and made a load of Minecraft videos, and then Pokemon Go blew up and I
Right.
played that game, and I went back to Call of Duty for a bit and then on to Fortnite. So I'd had a lot of games fall off and die down and had to adjust and play other things, and then saw success in that space. And I knew that you do have to leave behind another game or another audience, and
Is
they're
that
not
true
gonna like
though?
you for it.
Is
Like,
it true? So you're talking to two gamers here
Yeah.
So
who kind of
you
play
do-
a lot of stuff.
I think for me,
Stick to one thing.
a lot, but my channel also has always come from being quite good at the game. No offense.
Hold
offense.
up a sec.
I'm not
Hold
saying you're
up.
bad at video games, but like back in the COD days, everyone would be like, "What's your best class setup? Like, what's the latest?
What's your KDR?
news?" Exactly, it was high, like 4.5 KD.
Really?
I think on COD Ghost at one point I held a 7.5 KD.
Which, by the way, is a kill-death
Yeah,
ratio.
people don't really talk about that anymore, do
Right,
they?
so it's the amount of kills you get per death,
Yeah,
essentially, right?
yeah, so I
Josh,
sweated a lot.
I bet you were terrible, weren't you?
Yeah, I
Did
just
you play much COD?
It's those
I
big
played-
hands of yours.
I played like a bit, and I was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like, I'm bored.
Fair.
I thought it was fun, but I always ended up. I loved like playing
Mario
No,
Kart.
so I was about to say zombies, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Like I would be the one that would like play Rust zombies, like
Gotcha.
with other people,
Yeah.
where it's like the fake version where you get
I
one
was
person.
Yeah.
Addicted.
Yeah.
COD is
Oh
like
yeah,
the
you're a
first
big
game.
COD.
What was
I'm a
your
big COD
experience
guy.
through watching my content? Like,
Right.
what were you playing? And like, were you playing zombies, multiplayer, and what were you
No,
watching?
I was
before?
doing mostly. Well, I was watching. I grew up in like the phase days, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
so.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
you had more like informative type content
Yeah,
at the same
100%.
time.
Yeah.
Chasing nukes.
Yeah,
those
yeah.
type of things. You'd watch. Oh, look at me! I got 70 kills in a team deathmatch.
Yeah,
I'd be like, all right,
I
let's have a
love
look at
those
this.
days.
Let's have a look at this. You know.
Yeah.
And did you look at Ali like he was a pro?
Yeah, dude, I actually have a funny story. About. So I already knew about you at the time.
Yeah.
And I already, watched your stuff. But when I started doing YouTube, and I passed 100K subs, I started like my own little merchandise thing. So I literally bought 100 t-shirts with my logo printed on it. And I rented a little unit where quite literally me and my brother would pack the orders.
Yeah.
And then we'd bring them to like a mail order service where they would ship them to the customer. Now, there was a guy working there, and he was asking like, "Oh, well, so what do you do?" And I'm like, "So I'm a YouTuber, right? So like these are like people who watch me. They they wanted to buy a T-shirt. They're like, "Oh, that's cool, but I bet you're not like that Ali A guy." And that
so
offended me. I was
funny.
like,
What do you mean? Like you just want like me?
I don't know what he meant with that, but I
think
guess he was
this
a
has had
big.
Jelly up at night for years.
It's weird. I like they just like when I was doing research, like just a little bit. I just remembered this.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Jelly's hitting 20 million subs. He's like, 20 million subs, it's great, but I'm just not like Ali.
Well, when you did that video, I think you hit 10 mil subs, and you were like roast me for it.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm like.
Oh,
I don't do that.
Oh my God, we need to talk about that.
I don't do that kind of stuff online. Like I'm nice and I'm happy and like I
remember
don't
that.
roast people. I don't get involved in drama. But you told me to roast you, so I sent this video like, you never got more subs than me. As soon as he overtook me, all of my mentions were like, Jelly overtook you. And I'm like, I'm
Hang
happy
on, let's
for you,
explain
bro.
a little context. So when Jelly hit 10 million subs,
Yeah.
you reached out to some of your friends, well,
Yeah.
probably all of your friends.
Well, yeah.
That was
like
about
to
the
some
limit.
YouTubers and
But that was about everyone you could contact. at
yeah,
the
like
time.
literally 10
And
people.
and you said, I want you guys to roast me for the video.
Yeah, like, hey, do you want to be in my video? I have this theme. Like, I think it would be funny if YouTubers would make fun of me for hitting 10 million subs because you're cooler than me. Like,
I remember him showing me your clip, and me thinking, because I obviously knew you, I still knew you pretty well at that point, and I just remember watching it and being like, oh my God. I don't want to, I only saying this because I know, but I just was like, it's so not you.
Yeah.
You're like sitting there like genuinely like looking, you're smiling, like happy. And then trying to be mean, and I was like, "Oh my!"
I don't remember my
goodness.
reaction to it, but
That's so
I don't
funny.
remember.
It was,
That's
oh
so
God,
funny.
that's hilarious.
that is good. Actually, funny enough, I kind of stepping back a step.
Stepping back a step.
Yeah. We've talked about the past, but going back to the past.
Yeah.
How did we meet? And it was quite a long time ago.
Probably an event, I think.
I haven't thought about it. I haven't
Right.
prepped this. That's why it's just come to mind because I'm saying
Yeah.
I've known you for a while, but we haven't actually told the viewers that.
I think one of the nice things about having been in YouTube space for so long is that I have connections and could go out and message and hang out with so many different people in the YouTube space.
Yeah.
From cars, I follow a lot of cars stuff, to gaming vlogs. Like there's lots of people out there. But I think we probably met doing some
Was
sponsored
it like a
work
brand
together.
deal? Yeah, it wasn't a
we did
Ubisoft
Overwatch.
or
Do you remember that? The Overwatch tournament.
yeah.
Oh, that one you guys
Was
talked
that
about
where
and that was
we-
really bad.
Which one?
No, he's just trying to stir.
All right, let's. Anyway,
Hey,
Yeah,
man.
no, I think maybe it
We're
might
supposed
have
to
been
have the
there.
closer relationship here because we're sitting on the sofa.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. So our relationship is kind of been like sort of seeing you and then not seeing you for ages and then see you at another thing. But we would never have like control over the fact that we were going to be seeing each other again. And it kind of kept going like that, really. And that's kind of just
I guess-
over a really long time frame.
I guess we met at events sometimes in
Oh,
LA.
we weren't really
or-
talking about you though.
yeah, you were still watching my videos back then. But I think like
Finally, he's roasting me. Finally, he's growing up. He's growing up.
I think like
Grown taller too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, just getting taller. and
He's
taller.
so obsessed with the height thing. Just try and move on.
I think the thing is with our gaming space is that we would meet each other and other creators every year consistently because we were going to gaming events like E3,
Yeah.
Gamescom, sponsored events. And ever since COVID hit and those real life events like went away, everything's online. Like I don't really get invited out to anything
Me
anymore.
neither,
And
man.
it's
No,
like
it's
we used to be
changed.
flying
It's
every
changed.
month to
Yeah.
LA, New York, Europe. It
It's
was like
boring
constantly.
now, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a bit boring.
And I quite like that push of like I'm going away for 5 days here.
And you
Gotta
meet so
grind
many interesting
and then
people, right?
Yeah. I think it would spur that enthusiasm and inspire you a little bit more
100%.
when you talk to other people in person, and you can just get so much more from them than even being on like a Discord call or sending
Yeah.
a few DMs. So
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely miss hanging out with people and miss hanging out with you guys.
Well, you're here.
especially.
You're here.
Oh, I'm so happy you're here, man. It's but
I mean, okay. I think it's time we got into some of the the juicy bits.
I need to quickly interrupt this podcast session, okay? Because Josh Slogo, my dear friend, I actually have a little surprise for you.
That's funny, Jelly, because I actually also have a surprise for you. You ready?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Ready? Oh,
I've got a new shirt, Josh.
that looks really cool, Jelly.
And I have one for you.
Wait, what? Thanks, Jelly.
Comfortable, isn't it?
I think so.
Josh, we finally have our first sponsor on this show, 2/3.
And I'm actually proud it's something that I think is really cool.
True Classic is your one-stop shop for men's fitted shirts, pants, athletic wear, and lounge wear. And it's comfortable, which is the most important part.
They have pre-assembled outfits to make shopping and styling a breeze. And a fit for every season.
Now, Josh, do you want to know why yours is so comfortable? They have layered looks that are custom fit for your body.
It's function meets fashion, Jelly, and I think we've actually got some more here.
Oh my God. True Classic actually sent us like a huge care package. So I've got 3 layers on, and I've also got a hat, and our whole team actually has True Classic fits as well.
Woo! Thanks, True Classic! And these are durable, premium quality fabrics that are built to last.
They look good, feel good, and also do good, Josh.
Nice. Go click the link in the description and use the code 2/3 to get 25% off site-wide.
Go to the website, help out our sponsor. I'm so proud of us, Josh, that we actually have our first sponsor. And you know, it's comfortable. Do I look good? Yes. Do I feel good? Yes.
I mean, you couldn't think of a better first brand deal to get for the
I
podcast,
know,
right?
man.
Like, we sit here wearing stuff all the time, and I'm not going to lie, Jelly, sometimes our fits...
Yeah,
They
that's
ain't
right.
it.
Yeah, I think people might have noticed that I'm just wearing the same stuff all the time. And now, because of their care package,
We've got more than we could
got a
ever
ton.
need. We could shoot 100 episodes now.
all right, 2/3 for 25% off site wide. It says it on the wall here.
Yeah, I don't think there's a slash in it, though.
No slash.
No, it's just 2/3
Just
for the code.
2/3. It's in the description. Just go help them out. Thank you, True Classic, for sponsoring this episode.
The first one I sort of think would be good to talk about is the intro.
Yeah.
The intro. The Ali 8.
You're
You're not even close, Jelly.
I thought you watched my videos.
Hey, man, sorry. I'm used to the old outro with the little circle spin.
Yeah. Okay, you saved that.
So what? So obviously, that intro became a meme, and
Yeah.
But what? First of all, where did the intro come from?
So
Did someone make that for you? Do you like know who they are?
yeah, well, like the thing is, again, I think in a lot of people's heads, my YouTube career started from Fortnite.
Yeah.
And like I'd been in this space for so much longer. And prior to Fortnite, I'd always had like an animated video that would play for a few seconds. And I love like EDM music and like upbeat songs. So I'd go and get permission to use those tracks.
He's chirping you, isn't he?
So these tracks I was using in my videos, like I like that kind of music, but it was obviously like
you put the volume for it to clip. You love that.
No, he didn't do that. That was the meme.
I know.
Jelly, shush, let me explain my story. It's a big moment for
He
me.
needs a slap on the bottom, mate. Come on, keep going.
So prior to like the intro blowing up, I'd always had a really cool clip because Call of Duty videos were only like 3 or 4 minutes back then, and like
Yeah.
maybe I'd go like 20-0, but nothing crazy happened.
Can
So
you stop?
chill.
What is wrong with you?
I'm just, the moment you mentioned really cool clip, I'm just thinking about some of the intros. It's like, yo, guys, there's a new update.
Okay.
I do that all the time.
We used to do that, Jelly. I don't know what you're laughing about.
But the funny part is that it's a
people did it.
meme, right?
Yeah, a lot of people did it. Like on Call of Duty, I'd have like a crazy 360 like no scope, and then beat would drop and the intro would play, and people loved it. Like it was actually sick back then. But obviously,
It didn't age.
yeah, and the issue is the track. I think itself was a bit obnoxious. Like no offense to obviously the track blew up, but I'd actually told my editor, like, I don't think we should use this track anymore. I think it's a bit too heavy. And because he'd often get a library of music and he'd just pick out music and I'd let him
Right,
just
okay.
use it. So that track, I was like, we need to probably swap in one that's a little bit more chill.
Right.
And then that is the intro video, the intro and the music they pick. Because I wasn't just using that music. I was using lots of different tracks every video.
Yeah.
But that's the one that blew up. And yeah, I think that was all thanks to PewDiePie, to be honest with you.
So
I think he kinda started it.
PewDiePie made a video.
It's too funny.
Jelly watched it before this episode and was
just
just
funny.
laughing.
So I think it's funny. Like I can look at it and I genuinely, even at the time I looked at it, I was like, it is funny. Like some of them are really offensive with like the clips they're playing and then my intro playing. But I get it. It's funny, but I think, and like I have talked to PewDiePie a few times and met him in real life. He's quite off social media now, so I haven't talked to him in years. But I think, and this comes from like genuine thought, like I think he was kind of upset with how well Fortnite was doing, and he didn't like Fortnite. Like I just don't think he enjoyed it. And I think I was matching him for subscribers and views at that time. I don't think he looked at me and thought, oh, like this Ali A guy doesn't deserve. I don't think he looked at it and was like, I hate this guy. But I do think he felt like the Fortnite space was getting more views than he thought maybe it deserved.
Yeah, sure.
So for him to get into the Fortnite space, he made those videos because that video wasn't just me. It was very much focused around Fortnite.
Sure.
And it was his way of getting into that space. And then
So
obviously it bounced off all the other Fortnite videos that were big at the time.
Were you like low hanging fruit then? Do you feel like?
I think like I was the biggest guy in the
It was
space.
you and
They're
Ninja.
always going to go for people in the space. And he probably did think the intro was funny, to be fair. But like some of the comments he made were just a bit odd. Like, oh, it's a 20-minute Fortnite video and he doesn't tell you what it's about until the 20th minute. And I'm like, that's not, I'd normally tell you what was happening in the first 1 minute, but the game of Fortnite's 20 minutes and we just wouldn't really cut them down. There was a few things that he'd pick at, and if you went on any YouTube channel and cherry picked something that would fit the message you were trying to put out there, you could make it fit. And there's a lot of valid things, but a lot of things that I'm like,
it's interesting. So
Yeah,
he kind of did what he criticized you of. So where it was like, because he exaggerated the reality. And you maybe were being accused of exaggerating the reality.
I mean, obviously he talked about bigger things than just like the intro and the length of video and what was going on in the content. I think I look back at the videos back then, and like, as I said, I think this comes back to like when I was in school and people were like, you're playing games and talking over it. That's weird. Didn't care. And people at the time were like, you're probably pushing your title and thumbnails and content a bit too far. I didn't care. And I think definitely some cases went too far. And it was just like, you're getting 4, 5, 6 million views a video. It just felt incredible. It's like, why wouldn't I do this?
I think you were also in the same boat of us because you are similar to us in that we are high upload volume channels. So we tend to do at least a piece of content a day. And I think that changes the dynamic a bit.
Yes.
When you do that, I don't want to say there's less thought that goes into things, but you almost take more risks.
You don't take enough time to reflect on things.
Because you want to just move on to the next one, right? And I think that partially has something to do with it, and it's potentially where the criticism of PewDiePie's gone. It's kind of the opposite. He's almost overthinking everything in a sense to create the content. It's
it's a weird one, and like without having the video in front of me and like actually addressing every point, I think some of the clickbait went too far, but I think it was a really weird time where if you put a red arrow on a thumbnail, people would say it's clickbait.
I remember those days.
The Fortnite Reddit would roast you if you had a perfectly fine thumbnail, but there was a red arrow on it. And it's like, that's just a good thumbnail. You know what I mean?
Which is,
and if it's accurate to the
just showing the CTR stats, man.
And I'm like, I can see, I'm very much a numbers guy, and I'm seeing this data, and the CTR, which is the click-through rate, which is how strong the thumbnail and title is, was obviously insane. But if my video was completely off the mark and wasn't representative at all, the average view duration would have been awful. And it wasn't. Like, people were watching 50, 60% of a 20, 25-minute video. So I'm like, my audience enjoys it. Maybe PewDiePie or whoever else made video at the time didn't enjoy it, and their audience don't enjoy it. But you're not my audience, so like, I don't really care.
I mean, I might be speaking for myself as well, but the argument there is that it's just made for kids.
Yeah, but I think the whole thing, your audience are kids, is such a weird thing to say.
I mean,
like,
why
I don't care who watches my
games.
videos as long as they enjoy it.
But so on your content though, do you feel like you pander towards a younger audience?
Yeah, I think so. I think almost without realizing it. Yeah. I think
so your content is family friendly, doesn't have mature themes.
And you really wanted them to get into EDM.
I was like, I will force these tracks down their throat in every video.
Is that something that you feel like represents your actual personality?
I think think so. I don't think I'm too different off camera. I mean, I do swear in real life, which some people just, their mind will be blown.
Yeah.
Can we get one?
Can we get one? It's like he's not a monkey in the zoo, Jenny.
Like, yeah, I do swear in real life, but
Maybe you'll swear later on this video. They'll just have to have good
Just have to
audience
watch.
retention.
yeah,
and wait.
exactly.
You gotta hype it up until the end.
I think I was brought up where my parents like really didn't like swearing, and obviously the older you get, and when you're with your friends, you do. But also because at the beginning, like again going right back to the beginning, the only people that were watching my videos were probably family that found out I was doing it and close friends.
yeah.
So I'm like, if I am portraying someone that's like shouting, swearing, and doing things that I don't think my family or parents would like, then they're gonna watch my videos and be like, you okay?
You were so early on the train. You were still having to convince people what you're doing is like is even like a sane thing to do.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be swearing and you know going crazy in the videos if you're still also at the same time being like, yeah, this is like a legitimate real thing. Please support me in this.
And Ninja had a big moment where he went from being crazy hyper ninja, swearing, being manic to being family friendly.
There's some good memes there too.
And that was a big moment for him. But I didn't have to make that transition. And I think it served me really well where my ads have never been affected by swearing. You can be 5 years old or 50 years old and like my videos are fine to watch. And I'm very conscious that like often parents come up to me and they're like, oh, my kid was watching your video at breakfast this morning. And parents are also listening to what
of course.
the kids are watching as well.
Yeah.
And I think like during the Call of Duty days, I was... There's a moment, and not
There's
to go
some
too
videos.
off topic, but like during the Call of Duty days, I was very quiet. And like I had this persona being like, hello guys, and welcome to a new COD video. That was it.
I feel
and
like
then
I
it
remember
started
that
to
a bit.
go.
Yeah.
And then I had a huge boom in Black Ops 3 where I kind of realized that the more energy I had in the video, the better it would do. And I would just go mental.
Yeah,
like,
but I think so many creators had that.
I haven't had that.
You've always had that.
More energy?
Jelly, your permanent state is loud. Like if you had a volume button, it would be constantly maxed out.
Yeah, I don't know if my ears will work.
Seriously, go out anywhere with him and like sit down in a restaurant and to the point where Sana, right, will be sitting next to him and be like, Jelly, you're too loud. Just like the person that spends the most of the time in the world with him still hasn't gotten used to it. But
hey, at least I'm being myself.
at least he's being genuine.
Yeah,
Unlike you, Ali.
It comes back to being genuine.
No, I'm kidding.
I think it is a reflection of me. Like, I think the main things are like, I'm super happy and positive.
Yeah,
And I think those are the things I try and portray. Whether or not the energy levels are high or low or whatever it is, I think that is a good reflection of me.
It's
It's
an
a more-
exaggeration of yourself.
Maybe not an exaggeration. I think it's just it's a higher intensity version of yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is not, I don't think that's the same for everyone though. I think there are plenty of creators out there
ASMR.
that aren't who they normally.
Fair enough.
Right?
Yeah.
So like the energetic craziness, that might be a complete show. you
Right.
know? And it's funny, for me as a creator, I haven't actually been that good at doing the crazy stuff.
He's always been the calm guy in the back. That's why it took him a while to really get.
Do you have your energy levels come up at all, or do you just have that kind of like recording level?
I mean,
that you're
I
happy with?
definitely have an increase in energy in the content, but
Did I drop my phone?
I think so. But I wouldn't say that it. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, the viewers. If you ask the viewers, I'm sure that someone will say, "Yeah," or "You changed." You know, it's like a common theme for any YouTuber. But it's always been not nearly as exaggerated as like other people.
Yeah,
and it's not for lack of maybe trying. I probably could have been more successful if I had done it. It just has never felt natural to me.
Just like you'd never made the diss track. Then
Exactly.
Oh, did you not do any?
No.
But you and Queb did.
yeah,
right?
we and Queb, we went through a diss track phase. Did you do any diss tracks?
But again, that's just not me. Like,
No.
like, can you imagine if I called someone out and I'm like, what do I do?
You are not nice.
I hate you.
Oh no, that's the hate word. It's also too far. I don't like you because you smell like apples.
I just sat back and let that happen. The Sidemen diss tracks, your diss tracks.
Really?
You didn't get dragged into any of those, did you? No one ever.
Have you been diss tracked?
But you haven't been diss tracked, but you've been.
Have you been dissed?
Well, not exposed, so you've had a couple other videos made on you. So you had a Sunny V2 video, and then there was a Penguins video.
Yeah,
I joined the club recently, man.
Yeah, Jelly'd been Sunny V2'd as well.
Oh, I thought you meant you'd done a video exposing me. I was like, oh, I've missed this. What?
That's this.
No.
No, kidding. No, but yeah.
So starting on because we'll get to Sunny V2 one, because it'd be interesting to talk about some other bits with that.
Sure.
So the Penguin one's the one I know least about.
Same. And I looked it up because you guys had like sent some things over before the podcast. I'm like, oh, this did happen.
Yeah.
And that guy's channel's killing it. And I'm like, I don't really know who he is, to be honest.
So his name is
Club Penguin.
No.
Nah. Everyone on Club Penguins gathered together. We're like, we
thought-
hate
I
Ali.
thought
This
they
is where
quit.
Jelly goes, oh yeah, I did read the notes. And
I saw his name. I was like,
what's his name? Charlie. There's another name he's got though, isn't he?
Yeah,
Charlie Chocolate Factory?
Oh my god.
Anyway, yeah, Club Penguin.
So he made a video sort of, his criticism was a lot more based around I think he said on there about like competitions and stuff.
Yeah, I rewatched it again because I couldn't remember what he talked
it was
about.
that, wasn't it? And that there were some winners, but he couldn't.
But then, like,
couldn't
I'm
confirm that you'd
watching this
given
video
prizes.
now, and I'm like, dude, you're not showing any proof on screen of anything you're saying.
But that's those videos in general. They don't actually talk about anything.
But doesn't he actually said in the video like he couldn't find any proof that you had given winners a prize.
Yeah, I think it was a weird one because I think we did do competitions back in the day, but a lot of them were partnered with like brands like Turtle Beach or El Gato or something. So I'd like launch the competition and then be very hands off.
Right.
So it's up to them to sort that out. So
So you never had a hand
like I'd
in
come
that.
back in like 5 videos later and be like, oh, remember remember this giveaway? This is the winner. So
You didn't do that. Yeah,
it's probably good that you're clarifying that.
Yeah,
But wait, everyone got their award.
Of course,
so
yeah. And we still do giveaways to this day. I think it's one of the best ways to give back to the community, especially when I get sent so much. I'm like, don't bother sending me a lot of this stuff anymore. Like, let's just reinvest that back into my community as well.
There's some regulation regarding giveaways nowadays.
I think it's quite strict.
Is it?
I think probably have to do like T's and C's and stuff like that. Or
so, are you allowed to ask for people to subscribe in order to join
that's
the
a good
giveaway?
question. We don't really do that anymore, but I guess you could do like Gleam links and stuff where it's included within there. But I think it's now like visit a channel rather than subscribe to a channel. But
Interesting.
Changed
So
a lot.
then there was the actual time frame is all over the place. We're not actually doing this in order. But
I can't remember the order either.
There's a Sunny V2 video. Did you remember when that came out?
Yeah, I don't think that was that long ago. I think it's kind of like I'm irrelevant basically. I think quite kind of similar to yours, just like this is a person. I think he plays on the fact that people have seen us en masse at some point and then probably don't watch us anymore. And those are the people he plays on.
Yeah.
And it's normally the older audience that have grown up and are like, I don't really watch Ali anymore.
Yeah.
And the idea was that I was doing really well and now I'm not doing really well. But the videos often contradict themselves. And it's like, look at Ali. He had 200 million views a month in his peak on Fortnite, but now he's only got 40 million. And then he'll literally say in the same sentence, oh, but all the other Fortnite channels are like this. And it's like,
also
exactly.
But I think he doesn't want to take responsibility, and he also knows that
that's an interesting point.
And everything that he's saying is his opinion. I mean, he'll say.
But he tries to make it like it's not his opinion. So he'll use a
tries to
comment
make
to
it,
support something. But then
look, they said he's clickbaiting. I guess that's why his channel died.
or he'll put a comment up on the screen that'll be like, I don't like Ali, and he'll be like, here's a comment from a commenter that said, I don't like Ali. This is proof why everyone hates Ali. And it's like, whoa, hold on a second.
Yeah.
And it's a bit confusing on the approach, I think.
I think the thing that I don't mind about those videos is that they often don't overlap with my audience, which is why I quite like staying towards the kid end in a way, because those people are served a very different collection of videos to the people that are probably watching these kind of other videos that are portraying often an inaccurate view of how I'm doing or who I am. So at least I don't like
people who watch that type of content have grown out of your content.
Exactly. Yeah.
But recently though, and this is kind of a little bit of an add-on to the episode, but it depends on when this goes out, but Sunny V2's kind of just been exposed himself.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
So
now it's our turn to make a video on
yeah.
him.
So it's I was
Has he kept the video up?
I don't know if he's taken it down or whatever, but he basically has made a video and people have not been happy about his commentary on someone. And it's funny. Firstly, obviously, the 10 grand we paid for the hit pieces worked.
Oh,
right?
What?
Our hit pieces.
I thought we
take
weren't gonna
down
mention
Sunny
this.
Beach. Oh,
you totally forgot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No,
yeah, I
no,
forgot about the 10 grand
we
spent.
actually joked about
taking him
taking him down. And it's like happened.
Yeah.
No, but it's
all
I thought it was a hitman. Apparently not.
different type of hitman. But it's it's interesting though, because that the issue that he's had with that is that he's kind of put his opinion into something and then put his opinion out there, and everyone's gone, that's just like not right. Like that's a bad take, and it's kind of really blown back on him. And I think it's interesting because with your guys' episodes, it's kind of masquerading as like a documentary when in fact it's someone just commentating. Like he may as well be surfing on CSGO. Like that's the type of commentary it is.
Surfing
For
on
real,
CSGO.
though.
Those are the kind of videos.
That's kind of what it is.
That's what it started with, right? With creators doing that.
Those commentaries start with that, and I think this kind of actually sits in that category. But it because it's got this, it shows comments from fans, and it's got this data. It constantly tries to portray itself as this.
And the way he talks
thing.
and the speed of the video is a little bit slower than normal. And I think it's a good example of actually, I mentioned that my audience doesn't overlap with those kind of contents, with the audience actually starting to overlap and like giving their side of the story and people, because Sunny V2 also did a video on Ninja saying he was irrelevant, and towards the end of the video, he started just really ranting about how much he doesn't really like the guy. And I think sometimes he lets his own personal sort of opinions actually encroach a bit too much on the content. I think this is an example of it happening again, and it actually kicking back on him.
This one's backfired hard, though.
Yeah, this one backfired hard.
Be interesting to see where that goes.
Yeah.
So
I want to touch on one thing quickly, because I'm not sure who will be watching this, but I presume this may fall into a little bit of people who watch me now, but maybe a lot of people that did watch me. So I don't know.
think so, yeah. Some of the past.
That's what I'm thinking is, and we mentioned it a little bit, and I didn't really answer the question when I jumped from Call of Duty to Fortnite.
Okay.
I think, as I said, like I did a lot of jumps, but I think what people don't really take into account is like my mental health as a creator, and like what am I enjoying, and like this is my job. And yes, you've seen me play COD for 5 years, but like I'm sick of it. Like back then I was like, my views are awful. Like my channel's in the worst position it's ever been, and I don't feel great about it. And then Fortnite came along, and I'm like, I love this game. It's a new lease of life, and I like my videos are doing amazing.
So it's kind of two things there. It's like you found something that you think other people enjoy, and it's like also it's kind of a big deal that I enjoy this.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, YouTube is a job, and I've got to take it seriously.
Yeah,
and
I really like that you brought that up.
So-
actually,
Yeah.
Do you still enjoy Fortnite?
I do really like Fortnite, but that game's almost 6 years old, which is kind of crazy.
So if you had to say yes or no.
Yes, of course, I still enjoy it. Yeah. Like the fact that they update it every week is incredible. And they hand you so
going,
much
right?
content.
Yeah.
Every Tuesday, I'm at my PC knowing I'm gonna make a video.
Actually,
on it.
this was gonna be on a Tuesday.
You
Then
so
it was
you
like,
actually
nah.
said, no, I can't record on a Tuesday because of that.
That's
Yeah.
the only thing I ever like. Tuesdays I always keep free because they alternate between a morning update and then they put content out in the afternoon the next week, and then they bounce back to the morning. So Tuesdays I always keep free. But yeah, I think you've got to consider that these creators are also people, and maybe they're just not enjoying the content as much.
Right.
And like I did actually make a COD channel when Warzone was huge during lockdown.
Yep.
Loved Warzone. Like me, Claire, and another couple, shout out Dom and Lottie, we would jump on Warzone almost every evening for months and play from like 8-9 p.m. till like 2-3 a.m. And it was like our way of socializing, because we'd gotten into a really good habit just before lockdown kicked in of seeing people on the weekends and really socializing. And that was just stripped away from us as soon as we'd managed to build up the free time to actually do that. Anyway, made a COD channel, and I just don't have enough time to run it anymore, and the views aren't crazy.
It was just for fun.
Just for fun.
Sometimes
Like
you gotta have a little
I think
fun,
I lost
man.
money on that channel. Like I paid the editors more than I'd make back on it, but I kind of try to build it to give back to those people that had said so much about like me leaving the game behind, and then I made the channel, and then even they'd left COD behind. I don't even think many of them exist anymore.
But
so.
you've definitely had some success though with second channels, which we could get into. Well, the last bit that I wanted to get into in terms of like the memes funny thing is we have to talk about the Diplodocus.
That's such a weird one. Like,
I didn't even. This wasn't in the brief, bro.
No, I know. It's just kind of come back to me.
Yeah, so
The Diplodocus.
when I was playing Fortnite, like I hadn't played any battle royales before Fortnite. And I
Right.
don't know if you guys remember, I don't know how much Fortnite you played back in the day or PUBG or whatever it was.
Are you not watching my videos anymore? I still do it, man.
You still play Fortnite?
No, I'm just
Oh.
messing.
But when you first start playing a battle royale, it's so intense.
Yeah.
Like when you're in top 10, like my heart is pounding, and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta win this. So in the very early Fortnite videos, I would kind of just say things. And play and not quite realize what I'm saying because I'm just like, I can't multitask that well. So me and Rich, we'd play loads of Fortnite together because it was really easy to get videos if you're playing with someone else. It was really good.
Yeah.
And they added a load of dinosaurs, and it comes back to your thing of making a video every day.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit low on video ideas, but they've thrown in a load of dinosaur characters onto the Fortnite map.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why don't we do a video where we go and visit them, maybe farm them for materials, and talk about the dinosaurs coming to Fortnite. So we played our usual game, and about halfway through, like obviously it's not in the video, I'm like, okay, Rich, it's time to visit the dinosaurs. We jump on this golf buggy and we go around the corner. I'm like, it's a Diplodocus. and then I think Laserbeam took that clip and used it loads in his videos and just blew it up.
Yeah.
And then
Did he ask
came-
for permission to get that?
Nah, I don't think so.
You
I
claimed
don't
all of
think
it.
so. What's that?
You claimed all of
You
it.
could have claimed his video, claimed his content.
I was thinking, what if, because I was really close to the music label that distributed the Allier intro track. I'm like, what if them with the music and me with the
I
visuals
did-
just
I
came
was gonna
together
ask
and
that,
just
actually.
claimed everything?
And they actually definitely could have done that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
They didn't
You-
claim
you
anything.
would-
I mean,
would-
you might have had a license.
I
but
didn't claim anything.
Yeah.
I let it flow. I think you'd get more kickback.
Maybe
from
we
the
should
internet.
say
Oh, yeah.
what claiming is.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
point. Do you want to explain that?
Yeah, so basically, you as a creator can claim content if somebody re-uploads your stuff. And what claiming means is that all the ad revenue comes to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but
claiming.
I think
Which might have had a negative fallout.
Yeah, no, don't.
creators would actually really dislike.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
definitely frowned upon in the community to do any level of claiming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Between
It's
creators,
morally not okay.
as creators, we have enough problems with other companies doing
Yeah,
it to
that's
us.
true, that's
the last
true.
thing we need is creators doing it to each other.
But I think there's like a 10-hour Allier intro
Yeah.
meme video that literally has more views than my most viewed video, like 40 million views. And I think the record label claimed that video, which
Yeah,
I
I
hope
mean,
they
that
did
probably
because
makes
it would have
sense.
made them a lot of money. So, yeah.
Jesus,
It's quite. So for such a like. Such a nice guy. You had so many weird like
Yeah.
memes and like
I
videos
think-
made on you.
I think sometimes I'm really bad at being self-aware, and I think I still try and still work on that as much as possible. But I think when I was younger, and I never went to university, and all I was doing was in my bedroom in my parents' house making videos, and then I moved out with Claire, but still didn't really see anyone. My ability to take a step back in the rat race of making videos every day and look at a piece of content or look at something I'm doing and think, is that cringy? Should I really put that online? There was no moderation.
Yeah.
So everything went on the internet. So if I ever slipped up or there was something that could be taken and turned viral like it did, I didn't really have the ability to really
Interesting.
think
It's
that I
interesting
shouldn't put
way
that
of
out
putting
there.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I've been using you a lot.
What do you mean?
I've been running around. I've been vibing. I've been shooting.
What, listening to the Allier intro music?
No, your Fortnite skin, dude.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, that's genuinely one of the coolest things I've ever done.
So you have a custom skin in the game Fortnite.
Yeah, so Fortnite have, I think now about 1,500 different cosmetic like skins. And Fortnite have always been incredible, I think, at giving back to the community and really listening to the community and even thinking, what do creators want that doesn't exist already? One of the great examples of that is the supporter creator code, where they basically incentivize you, or the people watching content, to enter the code of the content creator you enjoy watching.
Support the creator.
To support the creator. And then 5% of all earnings, when that code's entered, just goes straight back to the person's code that you entered. And that was something Fortnite didn't need to do. Yes.
That was a big deal in the early days as well.
Yeah. Like, I don't think they realized how successful it would be. And I think
Didn't they do it like a triple week or a triple
they did
month?
A triple or quad one once.
Dude.
That's still my highest earning month ever on supporter creator.
Have you ever talked about any earnings like publicly?
No, I was thinking about this also today. Like, there are a lot of people out there that will talk about earnings and money, and I just don't think it benefits me at all. Like, it's not going to make people watch me more if they know how much I earn or don't know how much I earn. And I also just think it just brings unnecessary attention.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we don't necessarily really do it ourselves, but we're not shy to let people do it on the podcast, because I think it's quite interesting.
People want to flex.
Yeah, like, I'd love to be able to talk about it, and I watch a lot of podcasts,
mental.
and it's not it's good. But I really enjoy when people are really open on podcasts, and I think it's really insightful. But I just don't feel comfortable doing it.
No, I understand,
and I'm quite private about that. But yeah, supporter creators done really well for me.
That quadruple month, man.
Yeah, so that's
when I bought my Lambo. Just kidding.
How many Lambos do you have, bro?
so the skin thing then.
Sorry, back to the skin thing.
So how did you get your own skin?
So I didn't know I was going to get it, and I have a contact at Epic that always reaches out to me, and he's like my go-to guy to talk about things. And he set up a call and wrote out, and I thought it was a bit unusual, he wrote out a description of what we'd be talking about in the call, and he doesn't normally do that. And I'm like, okay. And it was just random things. Things that made sense, but it was a little bit random. And I get on the call, and there's another woman in the call who I don't recognize, and I'm like, this is not.
Did you have like your own management, agent, or was it just you?
It was me, and I think my management were on the call, but they were quite hands off for this project.
Right.
So they helped sort of kick it off and then step back, and I basically took over because it was very much driven by me.
You wanted that creator direct relationship anyway, I imagine, right?
And yeah, this call was set up, and then they turned around and they were like, this is, I think I can say her name. This is Jess. She actually heads up the Icon project at Epic. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, you're getting your own skin. I'm like, yes. Like,
you must have lit up.
It was mental. I think only 5 creators had it at that point.
Right.
And I was in the next wave. And I think like creators will still be getting their own skins now that I don't know about.
Where's my
Jelly,
skin?
you don't play enough. You don't play Fortnite.
Sorry, Jelly.
Can we just? It's not all about you, Jelly. We're focusing
Epic
on Ali
call
today.
me, man. I do it for free. I'd even pay for it. You know, it's fine. Like, just give me my skin.
All right, you tell you what, Jelly. If you give back all of your supporter creator funds,
take that back.
Okay.
No.
Give me your supporter creator funds and I'll try and convince you. I can't guarantee anything.
But continue on with it, because I think so they basically just said you're good to go.
Yeah, you're getting a skin, and like, I'm not allowed to tell anyone. I think the only people I told was, I think technically may have even broken NDA by telling these people, but they never told anyone. It was my wife, obviously Claire, my main editor for my Fortnite channel, and he was so gassed, he was so excited, and maybe a few close friends, but I kept it super under wraps because...
For how long was that? Did you have to keep it quiet?
I think I got told... in like May, June, and then it took a year for the skin to come out. They said initially it was going to come out at the end of the year, and then it kept on getting pushed back. But it
was
came
it
out.
So difficult to recreate you, or
I think
is it the length?
I don't know what I can and can't talk about without talking too much, but basically think Epic are making so many skins and cosmetics, and now especially they're doing so many collaborations with brands far bigger than me, like NBA. They've done like LeBron James. They've got some other stuff coming out. They've done
So the
lots of
time frames were moving.
Yeah, the
around.
time frames are moving.
Okay.
They got all of even though Epic Games is massive, they have to manage who's working on what. So mine kept on getting pushed back. But that was such an exciting process.
So do you?
Wow.
Do you get paid then for when people buy your skin?
So I've seen Laserbeam talk about this in a podcast, so I'll try and mimic what he said. They give you a bit of money up front for like the fact that you're getting a skin.
Okay.
And then you get paid after that, basically through your supporter creator code. And I can't really say any more than that, but essentially if the skin does well and people are supporting you, you will see like an increase in your supporter creator during the period.
There's no real negotiation. Like you get what you get, kind of.
Yeah, and I don't
more of an
think
offer.
you can ever really negotiate with them on that.
No.
I think they've got their rules, and they told me at least that the way that I was paid is the same that every creator was paid, no matter if you were Ninja or Chica. No offense, Chica. She's an awesome skin, but she's not as big as Ninja. Like, it doesn't matter how big you are. If you get an icon skin, you're paid in the same way.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The best way to negotiate is to tell the other party that you can't negotiate. But I'm sure that there's been some big names of Fortnite. I'm sure that there
probably has been some.
But I get the vibe that, I mean, even knowing other people made money, I feel like you would have just been like, do it for free.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Exactly.
Totally
You're so
do it for free,
passionate
dude.
about it.
Yeah,
Right?
I think everyone that has been, apart from Ninja, I think Ninja would have definitely wanted some money for it. But
do we have any beef or?
no. I think he knew his value back then. Like, he was massive, right?
Yeah.
I think everyone would have done it for free. And the fact they pay you as well is just like a huge
So,
bonus.
do you have your own Fortnite dance?
Yeah. But this is like
Do you not do your research again?
Jelly, I thought you watched my videos.
So, what's your Fortnite dance then?
It's me on a Diplodocus.
Oh yes,
With the intro music
No,
playing.
I was trying to get there. I
Yeah,
did my
yeah.
research.
I was kind of hoping you would get a emote of you doing the, when you reenacted the emotes. I hope that they would do like a weird version of the floss.
or something with. No wait, is the intro song there?
Yeah.
Yeah, the intro song's on it, right?
We're gonna if you get one more mistake, you're gonna have to kick you off the podcast.
Sorry, you just really weren't interesting enough to do research on.
Oh, Jelly.
I'm just kidding.
He makes us laugh. We'll keep him. For
The thing is, right? I feel like I know you very well, so I didn't have to do too much research.
Of course, yeah.
And then when there's when there's a guest on that I don't really personally know, then I'm like, all right, we gotta do some
One thing I
research.
wanted to ask as well, and this might be just some random thing that I'm just pulling out of nowhere, and you're gonna go, what the heck? I remember a long time ago when we were hanging out for something, you said that you bought every Fortnite skin.
Yeah, I tried to keep that up, but I'm lacking on some. I don't even know where.
You've fallen off now.
Yeah, so it's
No
1,500 skins. I think I have about 1,450. But in my head, like
still
in my head, if I
crazy.
open up the item shop, I've bought like it's very rare anything comes up for me to buy.
they're
Do you
like-
still try your hardest
Yeah,
to buy
I still
everything?
buy everything that comes
And
up.
do you have you ever estimated how much you've spent on Fortnite?
They're like
skins?
$10 each.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea? I mean, I'm sure if I asked your accountant, they'd probably figure it out.
Yeah.
They just pull out all of the
You can
Epic
see all
games.
the Epic Games payments. I think if you calculate there's 1,400, we've tried to do this before, 1,400 skins. You've then got like umbrellas, wraps, music packs, everything. So it's not just skins you buy. I think the total amount maybe sits at around $25,000.
No, it's
maybe.
more than that. It's more than that.
I don't know.
It's got to be more than that.
I'm actually surprised it's that much.
No, I think it's got to be more than that.
I think it's about that. It could
You know,
be maybe
but this
30,
is
40.
this is funny. This is a funny
Like,
point.
but anyway, regardless, like
the account's worth a lot of money.
$40,000. I'm all saying this like so it
You're
gets
never
a good
gonna
clip.
be able to sell
Jenny,
that.
we need a good clip for the short because this is so good.
$500,000 on skins.
No, but that's still crazy. Like that's
It is a lot of
so
money,
much money to spend in
yeah.
a game, and more so that a kid could have spent that as well. Like think about it,
Yeah,
it's
I
kind of
think-
crazy.
The price of a Fortnite skin has always seemed a little steep to me. Like I think once you go from money to V-Bucks to the purchase, you kind of you disassociate how much it is, and all gaming
I think
companies
that's
do
the whole
this.
point, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. But ultimately, the game's free. And it's up to you if you buy anything.
Have you ever been on discount?
What,
What,
your
cheaper?
skin?
No, I don't think
Fortnite
so.
skin.
Because so when you launch your icon skin, you get a moment in the store, and I think I was in the shop for like 10 days straight.
Wow.
And
That's quite long.
Yeah, it is really long. Whereas Ninja was in the store for like one weekend, I think, for 2 days when he first came out. So the good thing is each icon skin gets more than the last one. So I'm actually really happy. I would not change a thing about how my icon skin came out or when it came out. Like, I'm super happy with the launch.
Your one's quite complex.
Yeah, so
You have like, I remember this now. You've got like levels to your skin.
yeah, so I was so involved with this process. I'm like, I'm only ever going to get a skin once. So they would basically send out intermittent emails, maybe once every 3 to 4 weeks, and say, this is what we've done so far. Please give us some feedback or some direction. So when I jumped on the very first call, I made them a little PowerPoint presentation with what I thought everything should be.
You still have that?
Yeah, it's the worst PowerPoint in the world, but
That's so funny.
It's not the ideas I presented in that presentation is very close to what we ended up going with. Like, I think I had a really clear vision in my mind, and my goal was always ask for more. Like, ask for everything, and then all they can do is say no. Yeah. So when my skin came out and it had like 8 different styles, tons of different colors, all this customization, it's because I just asked for everything, and they were very fortunate enough to say, yeah, we've got some time to do this, let's throw it in there. So yeah, I just really went for it. And for all my feedback emails, I wouldn't just write up an email. I'd sit there, turn my face cam on, and basically record them a video being super specific. I was like, I don't like this color of blue here. I think this bit's a bit too big. I feel like we should be aiming for this for the final design. And I was so specific. There was no way that they could come back to me with anything that wasn't in my head, because I told them exactly what I wanted.
I'm surprised to hear that. I thought it was just, they make a skin for you, and
some
then
people do that.
You just gotta.
Some people literally are like, I don't know what my skin is, and they'll send a few ideas and they pick them and then they go with it. But I was like, nah, this needs to be exactly what I want.
This is my opportunity.
Yeah, this is my moment. So I was really hands-on with that process. Yeah.
Damn.
So,
and actually, I don't know if I can say this, but I filmed everything. So obviously I recorded videos for them for everything.
Yeah.
And in between each of the updates, I'd then record a mini vlog explaining what was going on. So the idea was I was going to release this really cool documentary that basically explained how they made my skin. And initially, it was all going to be signed off, and it was the first time that anyone would get a peek behind the scenes as to how they made a Fortnite skin. And then, like, just before my skin dropped, they were like, we don't want to do this anymore. So we've got literally, like, hours of footage trimmed down, sat in my editor's PC, but we can never share it.
That's the unseen.
That was
footage.
a good idea.
I know. I thought I'd try and think ahead. I'm like, I've got the advantage of seeing everyone else launch their skin. What content can I do, and how can I forward think in a way that they wouldn't have been able to?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, the unseen hashtag release the
doc.
video. Release
Allier.
the skin.
Just release Allier.
I'm stuck in the studio.
That
now.
doesn't. Yeah, well,
It's a bit
gives off a completely different.
But it's I know. But
but it's clickbait.
It's clickbait.
Oh, it's on.
Yeah.
On brand.
On brand.
So listen, Ali, you said I didn't do my research.
Okay.
All right, but I found
He's just
out.
literally researched on his phone.
I found out it's actually, I think, the first of hopefully many.
Yeah.
Are a Guinness World Record holder.
Yeah, I actually saw them the other day in the garage.
Listen. I'm just gonna read out some of these Guinness World Records because
some of
they
them are quite
are
funny.
impressive.
Okay.
All right. Tallest staircase built in under 1 minute in Minecraft.
I thought you were going to say tallest YouTuber or something.
No. It is a height one.
Yeah.
Can you please tell us how you built the tallest staircase?
Yeah, so I mean, so I think in total I genuinely have maybe 6 or 7 Guinness World Record plaques.
No
But
way.
a lot of them are beaten now.
Yeah, but aren't they just a bunch of crap? Like, aren't they genuinely a bunch
So
of shit?
I was filming. Let me say my piece. So I was filming for a show called Legends of Gaming years ago, and they brought in, because to have a Guinness World Record, you need someone from Guinness World Records there to basically sign it off.
Yeah.
And they had this person in for the day, and they got permission to basically make up world records. So they were like, chop loads of wood, I think was one of them, or something. How fast?
Most blocks of wood collected in under 3 minutes in Minecraft.
There you go. And like tallest building and other things like that. So we had a few practice runs, maybe 1 or 2, and then I just went for it. We filmed it, and I'm always going to get the Guinness World Record because I was the first person to do it. But I mean, technically, I don't hold that record anymore. But then some of them are cool. Like some of them I think are like Biggest, although I don't think I even deserve this one anymore. Biggest Call of Duty channel in the world.
Was this before or after your Call of Duty
This was probably like when Call of Duty was quite peak for me.
Okay, yeah, it's most popular Call of Duty channel by views.
Yeah.
Most popular Call of Duty channel by subscribers. And there's another one, all right? This is a long one. Highest score in offline team deathmatch using only the knife and Combat X.
And then, but I feel like
No. In Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Team of 2.
But the thing is, it's like this is the crazy thing about them. I feel like you can make up any Guinness World Record, right? Any Guinness World Record. It could be like, let's just say I don't know, something dumb like.
No. We need to leave it open because maybe we can get a Guinness World Record jury as a guest one day. Just let him write one.
But this is my
100%.
point. Like, I could literally say the fastest 100-meter sprint ever, Guinness World Record.
No,
But
I'm sure
I'm
that
just-
one's already claimed.
No, it's not claimed because I'm going to do fastest 100-meter sprint while eating a sandwich. No, I guarantee you that's not claimed.
Yeah,
And then I could go do that.
You'd be.
And then I will have the fastest 100-meter sprint while eating a sandwich. You can just add while eating a sandwich onto any of the records and get
Josh likes eating a sandwich.
I'm
So-
gonna make my own Guinness World Record book, which is just me doing every single record while eating a sandwich.
Most
and I will
popular
do all
Call
them.
of Duty channel by views while eating a sandwich.
You'd have to
That's
make a few videos.
One view.
While but you could just be like from a guy named Josh.
I feel like you guys have brought these up just to say how useless they are.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the COD ones I was definitely really proud of at the time, and I think my content was 99% COD.
Oh, back then I'm sure
Yeah,
that
you
would
were
have been
like,
really
yeah,
cool.
bro.
The other ones, a bit of a stretch.
Yeah. Were you ever the biggest YouTuber in the UK?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm a massive analytics junkie,
Yeah.
so I have tons of screenshots. I always screenshot like milestones from where I have peaked and had moments of where I'm like, I know this will probably never happen again.
Yeah.
One of those moments is peak Pokemon Go. So this is a great example of like just loving the game. Like I just love Pokemon, and you probably never would have known that if you watched my COD videos. But I was tweeting about the release of Pokemon Go before like that thing even blew up, and then it came out in Australia, I think. And I don't even know how I did it. I think I managed to change my app store to Australia and get the game early. And made a video, woke up the next day, I'm like, holy, this is banging. And then I jumped on the
Thought we were
Pokemon
gonna
Go.
get a swear there. You nearly had us.
Holy. And then I was like, this is banging. So for that first month of Pokemon Go, I think I was the second most subscribed channel in the world. I think PewDiePie beat me by like a few thousand. But I think in that month, back then, it just shows how much it's changed. Back then, the most subscribed channel in the world was PewDiePie of about 1 million. And I think I sat just under him at like just under 1 million.
Yeah.
Was now, I think, channels get multi-millions of subscribers a month.
Yeah.
But can't even remember why I brought that topic up. But I always try and capture these like these highlight moments. And
There's probably been plenty of milestones that you've actually achieved that just don't know that you were at that milestone at the time. Actually, the Pokemon Go thing's an interesting transition because, and I don't know how much you want to get into this, but something that people might not know too much is that in the past you've had some interesting issues with like privacy.
Yes,
and probably about the Pokemon Go thing because that was a lot of vlogging in places, right? Yeah, and because I remember back to when I saw you a long time ago, and that was like a big problem. Like,
maybe before you touch on that, we should probably mention Pokemon Go is a video game where you have to actually physically be outside.
Yeah, so you play on your phone, you just go out, and it's
which
like
is wild for gaming YouTube.
You have to walk around and find like eggs on your phone, which is kind of like a mapped area of your neighborhood.
But you've had a pretty tough time with that, right?
Yes, I mean, transitioning content was weird because I'd go from sitting inside all day playing COD multiplayer to suddenly needing to pick up a camera and going outside. And you gain this weird level of like confidence when there's the camera in your hand and you're used to vlogging, and it built up. But now, having not vlogged outside in years, if someone gave me a camera to go outside and vlog, I'm like, nah, I'm too scared. Like everyone looks at you, you just gotta not care. I think because the views were so crazy back then, I didn't care. I'm like, I'm filming myself. Half the people
No
on the
matter
street are
what.
looking at me.
Yeah.
I don't care. This video's going to get like 4 million
I don't
views.
care.
Like,
I'm playing Pokemon Go.
But that had a negative effect.
So I think at the time we were in a townhouse and it was in like a little community of houses. So we didn't have too many issues, but people would definitely come and like knock on the door, or you see them wandering outside. But because there was a lot of neighbors that work from home, they'd kind of just like shoo them away and like
Were they aware of who you were, what you
I
did?
think so, yeah. Like at least that little community. But actually, the worst of it wasn't Pokemon Go. The worst of it was Fortnite's peak with the meme. So I moved house peak Fortnite. Like I think I was at 200 million views a month when I moved house. And up until that point, the only people that would come up to me were super nice. And it's like, oh, mate, I love your COD videos. Or like, I used to watch you back in the day. Like, can I grab a pic? Always so nice. I love meeting people out and about. And there was a flip where the meme went massive and my brand went beyond my audience. So a kid in school would know who I was because I was that Allier meme intro,
Right.
and for no other reason.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't know who I was really or what my content was. They just know me as that thing. And for the first time ever, I'd go out and about in public and like, people weren't nasty, but like people weren't pointing or like asking for pictures necessarily because they were a fan. It was almost just like, ha, I've just seen Ali A. He's a dickhead or something. Like,
So it was like a joke.
Did we?
that's not too bad. That's not too bad.
Dickhead.
Yeah.
Jenny, let's not get too pressed. All right?
I just wanted to. Okay.
Now he's never going to say anything.
Shit.
And it was really like it had a lot of these negative sort of meets outside, but because I moved during the peak, I think the issue is because I moved. When you move into a new area and people find out that you're in a new area, everyone in the new area just talks about it.
Yeah.
So it's almost worth just never moving because people get bored of the fact that you're near there.
Yeah.
But we didn't have gates at the front of the house. Our house is like in the middle of nowhere, but people found it, and we tell neighbors like, please don't tell anyone that this is where we live. But their kids would go to school and they'd tell someone, and then every school in the area would know. You'd have like 20, 30 kids a day coming up to our house, and they'd go all the way up the drive. They'd knock on the windows. We had someone, we've never said this before, but we had these kids that we did eventually get a gate put in. They jumped over the gate and were like Snapchatting, and they were like talking to each other about like taking our dogs. And I'm like, no, this is too far. Like, this is actually too far. Wow. We had to like call the police and like get people over, and like they'd run away, and we'd like file reports and stuff. And it like started to just get really like crap, to be honest with you. Just like having actual people. It felt like we were in a zoo. It felt like, because a lot of our house is quite open, there's windows looking in. I'd see someone that I know is like come up to our house, and if I see them, they can see me, and I'm like, well, I can't move now. Like, I'd literally get stuck in a room of the house, because if I left that room, they'd see me. The biggest thing is, it like, that's another side of the meme thing that people don't realize is like, and Claire, my wife, still really doesn't like PewDiePie for the fact that he basically caused a meme that had a real life impact on us, and
never really just kind of walked away from it.
Yeah, it's like, haha, you got 10 million views, a viral video, and poked a bit of fun at me, but we had to deal with months and months of people trying to basically break into our house and mess with us and like cause real world issues. So that's one of the really negative side effects. And I don't bring it up much. And even when it was happening, I'd never say anything about it, because I think it just would have drawn more attention and made it worse, to be honest. So
definitely,
we just kept it quiet, dealt with it, moved on, and thankfully it's not really a thing anymore. But yeah, you know, and I think YouTubers, as they become bigger, I think when I was smaller and people would come up to me, it wasn't quite as big of a thing, because it was quite niche. You go back to those early days of like playing video games and recording it. It's quite a nerdy thing to do. So people were just like, oh, it probably was other nerds, no offense, coming up to me and saying, hey. Yeah. Whereas now YouTube is such a big thing, even parents know what YouTubers are. So you're held in this higher pedestal where it's like, you're a real celebrity. Oh my gosh.
Well, I had an interest. One time I was going to the airport, and I was about to get on the train in the airport to go to a different terminal or something, and then this like older man came up to me, and I was like, it's a confusing part of Heathrow with the trains.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this guy's obviously going to ask me like which train to get on, right? And the guy comes up to me and is like, oh, my son's a really big fan, and I'm like, wait, hold on a second. I had this idea built up in my head of what that person was coming to ask me to do.
Yeah.
But it was that was completely not it. And it's funny because back in the day, you'd have a kid come up and then they would say, I'm a big fan. And the parents are like, I've got no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like, it's almost flipped where the parents like know so much about creators and YouTubers as well. And they'll be like, yeah, can I get a selfie to show my kid that I saw this?
Yeah.
It's funny how it's evolved like that. And I think that correlates with the general acceptance of being a YouTuber as well. It sort of hinted that back in the day, it wasn't very cool. It was a bit weird to be a
Play
creator.
video games.
Yeah.
And now
you
it's
make money
not.
from it.
Yeah.
Wait,
now it's
what?
more so. Now, I mean, in a weird way, like being a YouTuber is like almost mainstream.
Yeah. Well,
Which
I
is
think
so weird.
there was a report where they asked loads of kids in primary school what they wanted to be. And if you jump back maybe 10, 20 years, it's always like the big ones are like fireman, policeman, astronaut. And now it's like YouTuber is number one.
Yeah, like top of the list.
I've got a question for you guys. If you're out and about, I can look at a group of people and see a group of like kids at a certain age, and I'm like,
I think I know what you're
this
gonna
isn't
say.
going to be big-headed. It does sound big-headed, but I'm like, there's a 90% chance this person's going to know who I am.
Yeah.
So I'll probably just avoid them or keep my head down.
yeah,
Do you guys
100%.
do
No,
similar
yeah.
things?
Yeah,
Like,
Same thing.
I
Actually,
avoid people between the age
Producer
of
Ben, you probably
Yeah.
like, because whenever I go out with Ben, and it's the same sort of thing. Like we'll see someone sometimes, and I'll be like, yeah, he knows.
Yeah.
he knows.
And
Like,
I see them doing it as well. I don't think you're being paranoid. They look you up and down.
I tend to look down.
Yeah.
Just
and I actually think out of the three of us, I'm probably by far the least recognized. I would say. I think I get away with it more.
It's because of the
But-
beard.
Yeah.
you know who got recognized a lot, and he's got looks that are out there. Quibble Cop,
Yeah. I think it depends
Ooh,
on
yeah,
how.
that's a good point. Yeah.
tall guy,
Yeah.
a lot of hair.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
it
he
depends
loves
on your
it.
look.
He
Yeah.
loves that though.
Oh yeah, he vibes.
We sit in the pale male category.
Yeah.
But it's to be fair, Ali, you're pretty tall as well. I think
Yeah,
that
I
you're a
think
bit of a beacon. For,
Yeah, I kind of can't keep low key, can I? That's the
but
annoying thing.
Jelly can.
I can. Yeah, I definitely
Jelly like
can.
crawls around on the ground.
They crawl
be
around
low-key.
on the ground.
Yeah.
But
I'm
I
not a
think
bee.
generally the good experiences of being known definitely outweigh the bad ones. And
Yeah, it's fun.
like I think
That's
I'm
such an alley way to they leave it off.
I'm kind of I try not register it. Like Ben there said, like he'll recognize someone looking at you, and that'll happen where Claire's like, oh, they all recognize you, and I kind of just didn't take it in. If I
Yeah.
try not think about it,
Yeah.
otherwise you will get paranoid and
Yeah.
you will just not want to go outside. And yeah,
It's true.
It gets annoying though when people secretly take pictures of you.
that's the worst. That really gets me angry.
Yeah, I hate that, especially at restaurants. If I'm like
It's
out with my
always
family,
at restaurants. Yeah.
Oh my god, that really makes me upset. I've had it many times. People like are recording, like you said, like a
Yeah.
Snapchat or something,
Yeah.
and they like come up to me like that, and then afterwards ask for a picture. I'm just like,
It ruins it, doesn't it?
you're being a little rude.
Yeah.
Like,
but sort of like on the flip side though, some of the best experiences I've ever had is just like a kid with their parents walking past, and then that kid kind of coming up and just being super respectful. The
Yeah, of
problem
course.
always comes from either bad timing or big groups.
Big groups.
Groups of kids is tough because they
That's
all
bad.
get hectic.
Yeah. And then they follow you around. and stuff
Oh,
like that.
talking about groups.
ooh.
Yeah, obviously, me and Josh, we've been through a lot. We've been through a lot.
Yeah.
I've watched watched most of the episodes with Quebblecop and Craner because it's a really interesting dynamic. And yeah, you guys have.
So have you
always-
tried to look, sort of, is that because obviously coming into this interview,
Yes,
or this
yeah, interview.
this application that you made,
Please accept me.
So you did some background research on the competition,
Yeah,
for the role.
yeah. Well,
So
I
this
mean-
is interesting. So this is the first time I think we've had anyone really
Take
do
it
their
seriously.
excuse me, sorry,
Take it seriously.
take what seriously? I think this is quite. Everyone takes this seriously.
and I love Fortnite.
Yeah. Okay. So.
So what do you think?
Well, I suppose yeah. What are your thoughts on the role then, moving forward?
Is this when he starts swearing?
I'd be great, guys. I'm really on time for things.
Well,
no, I'm not at all.
Oh well, you'd be more on time than Josh.
I appreciate you saying that, but I don't personally think that you fit into it.
I don't know if you're even joking anymore, but seriously, I actually don't think I would.
No. But regardless of whether you think you're not breaking up with me, I'm breaking up with you. We don't think you're going to be a correct fit here, so we
Okay.
appreciate you coming on
worries.
as an interviewee, and we appreciate you applying for the role.
Yeah.
But I think we're gonna have to sort of leave it there.
Okay.
But hey, I'll tell you what, we will be in contact
about
if-
that Fortnite skin as well. We'll be in contact.
We'll be in contact
See how it
if
is.
our requirements for the role.
Yeah.
We can reduce those.
Okay.
Yeah, up your CV a little bit.
I think it needs bulking out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk about it, but I actually don't enjoy recording in groups at all. And
No, I know you don't.
I like having I write a list of things I want to do every day, and I do them whenever I want to do them. And I find it really stressful when you're getting ready to record and you're in a call for hours. And even back in the day, like, fun fact, I was in the original chat that made the Sidemen. Like, I was in that chat before the Sidemen were the Sidemen.
I think I've heard this before.
Oh my
And
God.
it's the same reason with Vic and everything. Yeah.
So we used to play like COD together in evenings for hours, like
Circa.
as a group. Yeah, all of us. And then I can't even remember how the Sidemen came about, but I just don't fit into that.
Could have been a Sidemen, man.
I don't think I could have been. I've been the worst Sidemen ever.
But you big timed the Sidemen.
Yeah, so I'm going solo.
So anyway,
God.
so you're not a team player. That's an X.
Yes.
So
That's not looking
we
good.
appreciate you coming on though, and we've had a really good time. And is there? Do you have anything you want to like?
Maybe we can end it with the
promote?
dance.
The dance. Oh my gosh.
Why don't you both do the dance?
Definitely not doing that.
There's a reason that my icon skin emo isn't really me dancing, and just I'm on a Diplodocus doing this because I can't dance. That's for sure. Yeah.
Just something like that. Beautiful. Perfect. Good.
Thank you, Ali.
Thank you for having me. No, it's been really fun. I don't really have anything to promote. If you're on the Fortnite item shop, you can use
Oh, we do have
code
something to
Ali,
promote. It's this podcast on Spotify. Go follow
Nice.
it.
Yeah.
I'm way worse than
He
Jelly.
was trying to
I'll
plug
leave
his
it
own
to Jelly.
thing.
Fortnite skin. Buy it whenever it comes up.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
There you go. There you go. Thanks,
Thank
Ali.
you for coming.
No worries. Thank you for having me.